Moving on to the Indonesian national team news. Ahead of the crucial games against Japan and Saudi Arabia, Shin Tae-yong has called up some familiar faces. The two names making their return to the squad are Yance and Yakub Sayuri, the twins. Do you think that these two names could be the missing piece that bring more pace and speed to the team, Adiani?
Yeah, Yance is a starter for Indonesia before the times of Mees Hilgers. Him and Asnawi Mangkualam playing very well, but the combination that they do play, Jakob doesn't make mistakes in matches, so he's a high quality player from the back line to build up, and he has that eye for goal as well. A great shot from outside the box, can combine with a lot of players in midfield and the front line. So a great addition. Now he's a squad player due to the emerging force from Holland, Mees Hilgers, but Hilgers is not fully fit.
Yeah.
He was injured, only played 45 minutes against Willem II. So we're going to wait and see about his fitness towards the match against Japan. So there's hope for Jakob to play. For Yance, Yance has been called up quite a few times, but he has this problem with injury just before matches for Indonesia.
Yeah.
Maybe psychologically there's something there because it's quite strange. It's rather peculiar for him to get injured a couple of days before matches. So I hope he'll stay fit because he's a great player as well to have playing from the left. He can go inside as well. Not as good as his brother, but has the speed to add to the squad if needed coming off the bench. So two great players, two great squad players, a great addition. Welcoming back Jakob is great news for Shin Tae-yong, who knows his traits and quality.
Yeah, I think with Jakob, we saw what he can do in the Asian Cup, the way that he provided assist for Marcelino. Yeah, I asked him about that actually, and if they like practice those sort of game situation, and he said that yes, those are the types of goals that they are training in the training pitch with Coach Shin. So we have that fast player that can play either on the top or just behind him in the Asnawi position, because Asnawi is not in the team right now because of the hamstring injury. And Coach Shin just in his press conference today that I was there, he confirmed that that Asnawi is not in the team because of that hamstring injury, but he doesn't delve deeper into Mrs. Injury. Maybe he gonna see it firsthand when the team assembles starting on 10th November, I think. Just before the Japan game. So I think with Jakob and Yance, two big local players that can give more dynamics to the game, but also we saw how difficult it is against the Japanese, especially in the Asian Cup going forward, especially in that game. I think Egi and Witan also struggled heavily against the pressing from the Japanese players, even though Japan made some 8 changes again when we're up against them after they lost the surprise loss against Iraq. But we needed until the 92nd minute, I think, to score a goal from Sandy Walsh. That was our first shot on target, and we needed the whole full 90 minutes to create that one chance. So I think we need to be better going offensively in this game, because when I saw the numbers, our most creative players in that Asian Cup game was Marcelo Ferdinand. He completed 14 passes that day, but 8 out of those 14 passes was to the defending players, to our defenders. So
backward passes,
or
sideways,
passes to Hubner, to Jordi Amat. We found it very hard in that day in the Asian Cup. But after the Asian Cup, we got 8 diaspora players playing. So I hope with their help we can be more competitive against Japan now.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, it is expected because Japan is a
Number
giant
15
when
in
it
the
comes
world,
to Asian football. What can we expect from this game, and what do you think is going to be the toughest challenge for Shin Tae-yong and the squad to beat?
We just need to hope that Japan is going to have a bad day.
Off day.
Like the match against Australia. I always say this, that they revert to a system of play that is boring and easy to deal with, like the way they played in the Asian Cup. That was strange, just because of a mid block and a lot of tall players playing for Australia. Changes the dynamics of the front line and the wings. The likes of Doan struggling, Matoma struggling, but when you have players coming from the bench like Ito, like Nakamura, it's a different ball game for Indonesia going to the match at the GBK. So we just hope that Japan will struggle with the crowd as well, and then we have our special talents in the squad, the likes of Marcelino Ferdinand, and then you see at the back line Jay Idzes doing very well in this area. Have to bring his form to the national side. Verdonk as well, playing now better for Nijmegen, and Tom Haye. Tom Haye needs to start both matches, I think, against Japan, against Saudi. Go with your best players. Start the game with your best players, and if you have to do changes, then do it in the second half. So you start with your first 11 and then look on after that what's going to happen in the match. I do believe that Sintayong likes to start front foot, so putting the pressure.
First 15 minutes.
First 15, putting the pressure on Japan. They're going to struggle a bit, of course, and hopefully we can score, because that's the problem so far playing against China. The ball was ours. I think China gave it to us for the entire match. It's just that we don't know what to do with the ball going forward in that final third. So again, a lot of coaching needs to be done with the front players and the understanding between the wingers and the front and the midfielders as well. So we hope for the best and hope to hurt one of the best squad in the world right now, Japan.
Yeah, and
this is sorry.
No, yeah, I think this is a squad, not a squad, but this is a nation that, you know, that's been in the World Cup for so many times. They've been there.
7 consecutive appearances.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
From 98, right?
From 98.
They're a club that's beaten Germany before. They're a club that beat China 7-0. And
They're a nation.
Sorry. You have
to be careful, Enrico. The people are watching.
The people are watching.
Sorry.
Even from Brazil.
Even from Brazil.
Anyway, sorry. They're the nation that's been proven how good their football are. They're so disciplined. They're making the best runs they can do. They're making the best passes to their runners. Have a crazy squad, to be honest. So on paper, it's not looking good for us. But I hope they have a bad day in the office, like you said. And I hope we can respond well to it in the first minutes and the first half, make the right changes. Those tired legs are not going to be fit against Japan because of how so disciplined they are. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun match to watch.
Focus, game management, how you start the game, how you end the game, full of concentration, and all the players needs to get ready. The bench players needs to settle if they are trusted to play in the second half maybe. And for Japan, for Hajime Moriyasu, this is a different beast. Japan keeps on upgrading with the poor performance at the Asia Cup. And then if you see the trend from the 98 team, and then you have the mid-2000 team, they have certain players with quality, Hidetoshi Nakata, King Kazu, Nanami, and then you have Gon Nakayama, and then you have players such as Nakamura as well from Celtic. Individual brilliance playing for Japan, making the difference. But now you have the whole 11 starters playing very well in Europe as well. So there's no difference between the players starting and the players on the bench. Everybody's playing in Europe now, and that's a different thing, and that's why they are one of the best in the world right now, Japan.
Yeah, because they have Mitoma, Kamada, Sugawara, Endo. Those are Premier League level players. Morita we saw last night playing for Sporting. Excellent against Man City. Daisen Maeda, he scored a hat-trick for Celtic against
And this is
Aberdeen.
interesting because now they have Kyogo as well in the squad. Kyogo has problems with Hajime Moriyasu. But now he's in because Ueda is not playing.
He did not went to the Asian Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Because the coaches doesn't like him. But now Rayo Hatate is also going to Jakarta, so there's going to be changes as well for Japan.
But speaking of good club forms, I think a few of our players are also on a good club form. Rafa Stroik just scored his first goal for Brisbane
in a defeat.
in a defeat.
A typical
the
Roar
team
way.
are struggling. The same with Ragnar, and then
the team is not struggling.
Then
The team is starting new with young players. Yeah, I have to state. I have to state that.
Oh, okay. You have to phrase it like that. Okay. And Ragnar scored against Sandy Walsh's team, McKellen, last month. But the team, he lost 3 matches in a row. Verdonk, he played nice. He played a great game in the
6-0,
in 90 minutes. For 90 minutes, he played at left back against Groningen. Yeah, 6-0. He got a great score, and we need him to be on point, big on that flanks, because the Japanese players, they're gonna attack that flank.
Yeah.
Especially we need Sandy and Rido.
Yenner's not gonna play.
Do you have anything to edit from this predicted lineup?
Yenner's not going to play, so it's interesting to see who's going to play alongside
Yenner has Skorsing,
Tom Haye. But I think in the back line, Justin Hoopner is ready to play, hopefully. So he'll start.
Nathan can play there.
Nathan can play in that position,
because Yenner is a constant in Coach Shin's team. Tom and Nathan, they usually switch places in the bench and in the starting lineup. But Ivar, he always plays when he's fit. So that's a big loss.
Yeah, Kiko, since you're the most quiet ones, do you have anything to add? I feel like I have to ask you.
That's all right. Well, I'm curious about the new 2 players coming in, the twins, and how they can bring, because they're quite different to what we have right now in terms of, bringing their pace in.
Yeah.
Whether they start, I don't know, but whether they play a role, I think they'll play a role, because we need that pace, and maybe the Japan team and the Saudi Arabia are going to get a bit flustered by that pace, and just hope to see how that goes on. I don't think they're doing too good club-wise, but I think they have a role to fill.
But financially doing very well. Not
Okay.
playing very well.
Not playing very
Not
the
playing,
team.
but financially they're
one
not
other,
just okay, but
one
really
other,
well.
the Japanese team, they're not gonna. Ayase Ueda will not be there. He's the one who scored 2 goals against us in the Asian Cup. 14 goals from 30 games in the for his national team. And Coach Shin was asked about this earlier this day, and he said that it will be a great advantage for us, but of course the Japan team is not just one player, but as Adi said, a whole host of European level players.
Quality,
quality, they're number one, they're starters in their own teams. Kubo, he scored also last weekend. 3 goals already in La Liga this season. Ritsudoan, Minamino, number one in their position in their club. So
and that's interesting. If you talk about Kubo, Minamino, Matoma doing very well for their teams, but they're not secured in starting. And Coach Hajime, that is his quality in not having one superstar, but a whole host of players that can step up for Japan. And that is the difference between this Japan and maybe the previous Japan team. So the backline as well now with Ko Itakura doing very well. Yoshida was a massive loss because he was a player that's there for the past decade. So again, players coming in, very, very good for Japan. It's going to be a tough situation for Indonesia, but Coach Shin Tae-yong, as a Korean, he's going to do his utmost best. Extra motivated, like the game in the Asia Cup Under-23, playing against his own nation. And then Indonesia did very well. So hopefully, again, there's a lot of tricks up his sleeve for the match against Japan and Saudi Arabia.
Last question before I wrap up this episode. As a football fan and as an Indonesian, what are you hoping to see in this match, Indonesia versus Japan?
I hope to see we survive that first half first. Because we have to take it game after game. It's not always on paper. We thought we were going to win against China, and then the fact that they beat China 7-0, it's not very convincing for us that we lost to China. But I hope we take it step by step, survive that first.
Barrage of chances from Japan. I don't think so.
Or maybe press. I don't think so. But I hope we can. This is one of the most interesting Indonesia teams we've seen, like probably ever. So I hope we can give them something good, and the players fight for Indonesia, our national team. So
I'm hoping for a competitive match, better than the one
Of course.
in the Asian Cup where there's a mistake early in the match that destroys everything.
Yeah.
The rhythm.
So game management and focus is very important. How you start the match is okay, but how you finish is more much more important. And trying to get points off teams like Japan, a very strong team. So a draw should be a great result, but the second game, a very winnable game against Abi Renaat's Saudi. So we hope that there's no new manager bounce for Saudi Arabia.
And Australia also.
And Australia, I think
Yeah,
playing at the
Australia.
Subiaco in Perth, the Perth Oval, is going to be a challenge. But because it's a short flight for us, it's a advantage. I think it's very very strange for Australia to just pick Perth and not go to maybe Suncorp or maybe go to somewhere south. So
Are you saying it's staged? Are you saying it's staged?
No, but it's just strange because there's a lot of stadiums that maybe it's very difficult for us to reach, not in a just one hop from Soekarno Hatta. So a chance there.
Yeah.
But the most important two matches is the home matches against Bahrain and China. If we don't get 6 points from those two matches, then questions will be asked with Sintayong's fate as a boss of Indonesia.
Yeah, because we know Japan won 7-0 against China and 5-0 at Bahrain. So anything better than that is a plus. That first 20-30 minutes will be very, very important, especially considering like how the Japanese like to start their game. But I want to see GBK rocking with. I think this is like the biggest competitive game in GBK's for the past maybe 2 decades. This is at least the highest ranked nation after Argentina that came.
And it's not a friendly this one.
And it's not a friendly.
No.
So I think for those guys who are lucky enough to get tickets for the game, I think it's a game of your life to be there. And that I want the national team to perform proudly as best as they can.
We'll see you on the 15th, right?
15th
and
November.
19th.
15 and
15 and
19.
19. We'll see you at GBK.
And for those of you who doesn't get ticket, watch me.
Okay, let's just watch Adiani
Official
then.
broadcaster.
Official broadcaster.
Lovely.
Anyway, thank you so much for tonight,
you.
guys.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Kiko.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
Adi. Thank you, Firzi.
Thank
And
you,
thank you so
guys.
much for tuning in. Jebret Media Team. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.